Hey everybody, welcome to the Black Sheep Props channel. I'm Steve, and I'm here to teach you the tips, tools, techniques, and materials for building your very own super cool EVA foam props. Now in our last episode, making an EVA foam Star Trek phaser part 1, we knocked out the bulk of the body. We shaped out the top piece, the center body piece, and the bottom piece. Shaped it in both directions. We also did the little front edge piece, and we did most of the circle pieces that make up our nozzle. So that was basically laying the groundwork. Now in this episode, making an EVA foam Star Trek phaser part 2, we're going to tackle all the rest of the prop in this episode only. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of details, but we're going to nail it. We're going to knock it all out tonight. So enough of me blabbing. If you're ready to hit it, let's make something. All right, now we're going to begin cutting out the pieces for our little tail inset piece. All right, there we go. That's simple. We're going to do these 3. All right, there's all 4, each a little bit shorter. All right, there we go. We'll transfer our marks. Just like that. We're going to take the bottom piece of the body, and we're going to be building out this intersection. So we're going to take this bottom piece of the body, and we're going to attach this piece to it. All right, there you go. Super easy. All right, there we go. There's one on. Now we're just going to stack the rest of them up. Actually, instead of doing 4, we're only going to do 3. We're going to come in and we're going to put little spacers in between. We're going to get the bottom wet. We're going to come in and set it right in place. Okay, we've got super glue on that side. Now we're going to bring it in. We're going to put it down. Okay, we're going to put one more spacer at the back. And like that. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to come in on an angle and we're going to slice through all of this so it all has a nice flush cut. Beautiful. Now we got a nice smooth cut. Look at that. Wait 5 minutes and then bam, contact. Just like so. And we're going to line this side up like so, and that side. Then we're going to push this part down and attach it all together. Now we got a couple little spots in here, like right here where you can see a separation in the spacer, but we'll fill that in with quick seal, and we'll clean these edges up with the Dremel and some quick seal, and hopefully we don't see that. All right, we're going to come in with our Dremel and we're going to try to smooth this little edge off right here. Let's get out our 80. And let's try to hit that a little bit with our 80 just to take it down. There we go. Come in with our 220. Then we come in with our 320. We'll get the heat gun going just to seal up that raw foam, and we don't want to hit it too hard because we don't want any contact cement separating. not bad at all. Now when we plasta dip that, you're not even gonna see that. We will fill in that little gap with quick seal though, right there. Use the board just to protect your cutting mat. All right, there's our center line. Get it started. Then we're going to flip it around and do the same thing on this side. All right, we got our little detail down both sides. All right, now we're going to begin assembling the handle. Keep your knife at a 90-degree angle. All right, there's our handle cut out. Now we're going to cut out our sets of pieces that go on the side of the handle. Now when we get to the end, we have to pivot around the corner, so we're going to stand the knife up. Nice corner. Okay, now this is going to be a little bit tricky because we want the two ends of this to be round. So we're going to have to really Dremel off a heavy corner on all four sides. All right, we're going to come in and we're going to really wail on the edges of this with the rough bit. We have rounded the heck out of those things. Now we're going to come in with our smooth bit. Now we're going to come in with the 220. Come in with the 320 just to get it even smoother. All right, now we're going to heat seal. All right, look at that. That is beautiful with the rounded corners. Wow. All right, now we're going to slightly round off just the outer edges. Beautiful. All right, now we're going to put down some guidelines so that we stick these down straight. Line it right up with our Sharpie line. Lay it down right on our Sharpie line like that. All right, there we go, both sides. All right, we marked our center line on the base of our phaser, and we marked a Sharpie mark at the center of our handle, and we also put a little mark where the handle's going to line up with. There's our spots. Actually, let's just use super glue and not contact cement. Going to line it up on our dot, line it up on our back spot. We're going to put some pressure on it till it bonds. Nice. All right, now we're going to bring in our little EVA foam dowel. Make a nice cut just like that. All right, now we're going to begin making our knob for the back end of the phaser. Come in with our sharpened brass tube. We're going to All right, now this piece we're going to cut out, but it needs to have a bevel. Very cool. We just tilted the table on the bandsaw and cut it out. We're going to put a little super glue down. All right, there we go. Cool little button. Okay, now what we just did was we used our wood burner and we wood burned two little lines right down the middle of this piece of 2mm foam. This is going to be a small detail on the back of the phaser. All right, we put a little super glue down, stick it down so it bonds, line that up right there. Now we just hold it down till it bonds. All right, now we're going to make the two switches for the sides of the body. So we're just going to pivot right around this little circle to make our one button. There's one. And there's two. And now put a little super glue down. Get a little on the bottom. There. And put it down. There you go. Nice little switch there. All right, now we've got a couple more pieces for the detail up on top of our phaser. All right, there's our base plate. Follow our curve. All right, there's one. Now, these are going to go up on the sides of this, just like so. I'm going to heat seal before we glue. All right, there we go. All right, there we go. Now we're going to come around and right up on the edge, just like that. We got our little braces. All right, here's two dials that are going to be sticking up out of the top of our phaser. Now, roll right through. All right, there we go. See that? Nice 90-degree cut. Piece of cake. Straight 90-degree cut there as well, so it stands flat, just like that. All right, there we go. Both stand up and they're not crooked. We're going to heat seal before we glue. Just tighten it up. Drew our center mark and we evenly marked where we want each of our dials to go. Use our X-Acto knife so we can place it. We're going to line it right up with our Sharpie line, just like that. Two dials. What we're going to do is we need a piece of foam to look like mesh. So we found the perfect mesh we want. We're going to heat the heck out of this thing to where it's almost melting. Then we're going to put our mesh over it and we're going to put a bunch of pressure down on it as it cools, and we're going to imprint this mesh on this foam. We've got the screen pattern embedded in our foam. That is nuts. There we go. Sweet detail. just like that, and we're going to hold it. We're going to do the other side. That is a cool detail. All right, now we have our neoprene tube. We have to do two little details. So what we're going to do is we have our two spots marked. We're going to come in with an X-Acto knife, cut right through. We're going to hold it down while it bonds. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. All right, we have our dots marked for our side details to the body of our phaser. So we're going to cut a bunch of long, thin strips. And we're going to hold it. We're just getting it started. That's it. We're just eyeballing it. Nice little detail down the side. Now we're going to do one more underneath it that's a little bit shorter, and then we'll do it on the other side. All right, there we go. Detail on both sides of the body. All right, we have a 1/2 inch piece of foam. We're going to use this to make our nozzle for our phaser. Without a super sharp blade, this particular technique is a disaster. All right, so here is the little dot for our center mark. Now what we're going to do, we've got a 1/2 inch all the way around. We're going to cut from this corner to the center. There we go. Now we're going to flip it around, and we're going to go from the tip where we just were to this corner now. All right, there we go. Look at that. Now we're going to roll it over on its side, the center spot, which is right there. There we go. Now we're going to spin this around, and we're going to go from this tip to this corner. Dremel all 4 sides off so that it's round. And remember, when you Dremel a tip, you have to go into the tip, not out of the tip, or you'll tear it up. Just like that. All right, now we're going to cut off our little corners. Right there. And then we're going to that's a finished phaser right there. All right, there it was. Bam! We knocked out all those details in this episode. Everything went down perfectly. Everything fit like a glove. There wasn't anything that was hard. You just got to be careful, like we always say. Take your time, and everything will go down flawlessly, which it did. So that concludes making an EVA foam Star Trek phaser Part 2. Hope you liked it. If you did, give us a like, share us with a friend, and subscribe to this channel. And together we're going to go step by step through a lot more super cool builds so that you get the props you deserve. Thanks for coming. See you next time.